Before I begin, a very good morning to all of you present over here to listen us. You are only here for a short visit. Don't hurry, don't worry, and be sure to smell the flowers along the way. With this quote of Walter Hagen, let's call Raj Satyajit to give his review on the book How to Live Good Life.
Good morning, all present here. A very warm welcome from our NVV family. As a part of family, I Satyajit from 12th Science English Medium representing a book review on the book How to Live a Good Life. This is a masterpiece written by Jonathan Fields. Each of us are finding a way to live a good life since many years. Millions of people are finding this answer, but still they are in search or just got the hint. But Fields says that think of your life as three buckets. The first bucket is called vitality, and it is about the state of your mind and body. The second is connection. This one is about relationships. The third, contribution, is about how you contribute to the world. The fuller your buckets, the better your life. When all simultaneously bubbled over, it soars. That is what we are aiming for. But the flip side is also true. If a single bucket runs dry, you feel pain. If two go empty, a world hearts awaits. If all three bottom out, you don't have a life figuratively and in short order literally. There are likely hundreds, if not thousands, of ways to feel good life buckets. But as promised, the simple framework and book are about making your good life easier. For all three buckets, we will keep our focus on a very small number of what call bucket filling big figures. There are there are little things that will fill your buckets more powerfully. In this chapter that follows, you will discover 10 ways to fill each bucket. Before we get there, let's go a bit deeper into each bucket. Then we will take a quick snapshot that will tell you how full each of your bucket in right now. After that, you will learn the three laws of bucket. You will then give you everything you need to start your own good life project to dive into a chapters that follows. First, start with the vitality bucket. Vitality bucket. None of the other stuff is going to work if the animal that you live in just is a broke down. Written by Elizabeth Gilbert. If you don't have health, you have all heard you don't have anything. You can't buy your way out of a tumor or depression or illness or pain. You can't feel happy, alive, and joyful when your body is abandoning you. And you can't dream in all that life has to offer when your body is limited in its capability. Not only that, but the vital body is the vessel for that 3 pound bundle of consciousness called your brain. The thing that processes whether you are living a good life or not. The thing that feels and chooses that controls your organs, systems, and movements. There is a powerful feedback loop between your mind and body. What exactly is vitality? Then, for our purpose, vitality is about optimal state of body and mind. When you think about the state of your body and mindset, you want to feel energized, strong, flexible enough to participate in life, as free of pain, disease, disability, and possible, aware and capable of being in the moment, optimistic about the future and what it holds, peacefully and calm, able to dispel stress, able to bounce back from adversities, immersed in the process of growth, grateful for what right in life, fueled by the sense of meaning, happy. Notice that vitality isn't just about our bodies; it is about our minds. What is that? Because in truth there is no distinction. Your body and your mind and body serves as seamless feedback mechanism, chemically and electrically. They are so hopelessly intertwined that it is silly to speak them as separate. The state of your body is health, strength, disease, ability, disability, has a profound effect on your mind. If your body is in pain, so is your brain. We get that less initiative true is that if your mind is in pain, so is your body. Depression, anxiety, sadness, stress, and heartbreak all create real, measurable physical symptoms in our bodies, ranging from pain to inflammation and disease. By the same token, joy, love, belonging, meaning, peace, and easy to create a cascade positive effect that we feel equally. When you head into the daily exploration To fill your vitality bucket, you will explore things, evaluate both mind and body. Next comes connection bucket. There is nothing I would do for those who are really my friends. I have no notion for loving people of heart. It is my nature. Jane Austen. Our connection bucket is about nourishing relationships. It is about intimate partners, family, close friends, colleagues, conspirators, and like minded communities. It is about love and lust, passion and compassion, resonance and belonging. It is about how well we know and relate ourselves. And for some, it is about our relationship with the experience of something greater than ourselves, whether we define that a God, source, spirit, consciousness, nature, the divine, field, and anything else. We are intrinsically social beings want to be with others when we are with the right others. In the right way, magic happens. We come alive, and our world, our capacity to flourish and grow and engage with life and joy expands. When we are with the wrong people in the wrong way or isolated from the right people, everything shrinks. Our ability to drink in all life has to overcome crumbles. When we are completely alone, isolated from humanity, we first loses our minds and then wither and die. Yes, even the rare process discharged mega introverts among us. In order to fill our connection buckets, we need to find and be with other people, those we can love and those who will love us back, those we can befriend and play and laugh with, those who will serve as a source of acceptance, elegance, and belonging. In other words, those who just plain get us. When we think about relationships in our lives, we want to feel like we give love and receive love without condition. We belong, we are seen, understood, and embraced by friends with shared values, interests, and aspiration. We are connected to something bigger than ourselves, be it natural or ethereal. How do you cultivate these connections and relationships? Is the Lucius bucket feelings that ride along with them. Let's discuss about the third contribution bucket. Imagine immensities. Pick yourself up from rejections and plow ahead. Don't compromise. Start now, say every single day. Debbie Millman. Your connection bucket is about how you bring your gifts to the world. It is the answer to the poet Mary Oliver Gorgeous question. Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? It is about contributing to the world, even if that world is a single person, in a way that is meaningful, in a way that matters and allows you to feel like, like you matter. It is about the deep knowing that you are doing the good things you are here to do. There's a sense of calling that's pulling you ahead rather than pushing you from the behind. It is about being lit up along the way, absorbed in the semi-trance state beyond emotions, where time ceases to exist and you feel like you are channeling pure consciousness. It is about feeling like you are accessing your full potential, your strengths, your gifts, and deepest parts of your humanity, leaving nothing unrealized or untapped. You are fully expressed, seen, and heard. You feel our contribution buckets. We need to cultivate this feeling. How? As with our vitality and connection buckets, the universe of possible contributors is large. Now let's us see the three laws of buckets. Bucket law 1, the bucket leak. In the earlier days, our bucket are new and shiny, no dents, no cracks, no rust, no drainage. But over time, they get a bit dingy and paint wear thin, and the seams that held together or tightly begin to separate just a bit. Then they begin to leak, not a ton, but enough so that we can just feel them once and know they will stay top of the line. Left alone, our buckets eventually run dry, and so does life. Our job then is to keep circling around, filling them as needed, and never ignoring anyone long enough for it to run dry. Bucket law 2. Your, your emptiest bucket will drag the others down with it. Initiatively, we know this. Let our vitality bucket run dry, and it will be possible to contribute anywhere near the level of our true potential or sustain relationships in a way that fills our connection buckets effectively. Let a connection bucket run dry and it becomes brutally hard to muster the energy needed to do the things that fill our vitality and contribution bucket. Let a contribution bucket's run dry, spelling all our energies on things to devour our time but empty our souls, and we will have trouble finding the reserves needed to cultivate rewarding relationships and a vital mind and body. All the buckets are connected. We cannot fill any one to its full capacity unless the other fill among with it. Put another way, we can abandon one in the name of filling the others or only so long before we need to circle back and do all our buckets right. Bucket law third. The buckets never lie. We often bring a certain amount of well-intended dilutions to the assessment of how full or empty our buckets are. We like to think they are fuller and easier to fill than they are. Think think what you want, but the buckets don't lie. If you let one run dry, all the delusions and excuses in the world won't help. Empty is empty. You can't think it full. Be optimistic about the future, but honest about the present. Not now we have to new tools to guide our decisions and actions, and we are learn to simple sets of rules to help get us on new way. Life is about what you pursue after experience in life. So life is full of happiness if you feel and live it, because each of us has an art inside us. Some of the best topics of the books are filling buckets, way out of depressions, men in daily routine, etc. We have heard in past about thought. जो बोया है वो पाओगे. That means life is what we make it. Can you think about what thinking power can? I tell a story about a king. A king was ruling in his kingdom. Once a thief theft in the kingdom and was caught by the villagers. He was addressed punishment of death by hanging it. But some of the villagers said that we will punish him. So king gave him to them. After they started talking about cobra snake in front of him, how it bites, how the strong is venom, and he thought that they will kill me by the cobra snake's venoms. He started thinking about it and can't sleep the whole night. And when the villagers presented the cobra snake in front of him, he died. All were in difficult situation. How he died? Then after some time, result was that he just died due to overthinking of cobra snake. And in the same, vice versa, a doctor was treating a patient heart problem. The patient was so seriously, and there were some students and doctor was giving talk to his students that he has a heart problem and his heartbeat is just like foot voice of horse, and he listened that the patient listened that his heart is like as strong as horse, and in just 2 days that patient's heart problem was cured, and doctors were telling that it's just a miracle because the man who was cured has no chances of curing though he survived. And here also the result was that he thinks just like his heart is as strong as horse one. So the conclusion is that life is about what we think and feel. Second interesting topic in this book is about way out of depression. But before we leave anything, we have to enter the one. A person is not well till he is equally in all. If he is minded but no money to spend, has money but no mind to spend, and has money and mind also but no support of family and friends, then also he she can't live happiness. They afford depression. A person who just think a lot about just one thing always end into two ways. First goes in depression or goes in the permanent sleep, means die. Today, world is facing more cases of depression. Monthly, thousands of cases are just in Gujarat. Depression is contributed 45% of death rate throughout the world, because as we are executing technologies in the daily life and persons minds are set as we are just new technologies, and if one thing work or goes as like he she he think about just it and goes in the same means. In the simple words, अगर इंसान का निर्धारित काम पार ना हो या उसे कोई परेशानी हो तो वो उसका हल सोचने में वो माइंड को इतना परेशान करता है कि वो डिप्रेशन का शिकार होते हैं. Third topic is about positive thinking. Fields in this book said that if one thinks positively about the situation, he can be 100 feet away from the fears. Like as if Gandhi Bapu and Sardar Patel if think that we are not able, we will not get freedom. Would we be sitting here if Abraham Lincoln thought that I am failed in 17 businesses and will not get success? Would America get a well-known president if Dhirubhai Ambani not started the Puri Bhaji stall in Fair and not started a company in just investment of 1500? We would not be able to use geosyncs today. If Edison think I would not get success in inventing light after 999 ideas, we would not be able to use bulbs. So one think about just positive thinking, and is just if we think positive about each and every situation, one can get true success in his life. Fourth topic, anger is an asset that can be more harm to the vessel in which it is stored other than anything on which it is poured. Anger is most of the time pretty pointless. It can cause situations to get out of hand, and from a selfish perspective, it often more hurtful for the one being angry than the person angry at. So, if even you feel angry at someone for days, recognize that you are mostly just hurting yourself. The other person may not even be aware that you are angry at him or her. So, either talking to the person resolving the conflicts or letting go of anger as quickly as possible are pretty good tips to make your life more pleasurable. If you are taking a different path, prepare for reaction. A person with a new idea is a crank until an idea succeeds. I think this is quite a bit of relevance to self-improvement. If you started to change or do something different, then you usually do. People may react in different ways. Some may be happy for you, and some may be indifferent. Some may be puzzled or react in negative and discouraging way. Much of these reactions are probably not so much about you, but about the person who said it and his her life. How they feel about themselves is coming through in the words they use and judgments they make, and that's okay. I think it's pretty likely that they won't react as negatively as you may I imagine, or they will probably at least go back on focusing on their own challenges pretty soon. So what other people may say and think and letting that hold you back is probably just fantasy and barrier you built in your mind. You may find that when you finally cross that inner thresholds you create, then people around you may not shun you or go chasing after with you pitchforks, and they might just go. Last topic, but interesting topic. I ask all of you: is every or one failure in the life or any where in the is important to succeed? I think it's necessary because failure gives you strength to come up and show all your capabilities and efforts to pursue the goal you have think. I think failure is necessary because one can one can get conclusion that others also get the example that if I will do that, I will not, it will not work, and we will find a new way to complete the goal. Failure is now the initial step in the part of success because each and every one who has faced failure has a new strength, sum up as potential in his life minds, which converts its thinking into a new energy which come up as a success to him. So if you fail, you will succeed. You will succeed. Each failure is a stepping step which lead to the ocean of success level up. So I request all of you to read the book How to Live a Good Life written by Jonathan Fields. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Satyajit. Now let's call Shilpa ma'am to give a review of the student.
Book is nothing but boundaryless ocean of knowledge. For this purpose, school organized book review for the student. First of all, I congratulate Satyajit to make great effort for this review. After listening this review, I just say each day will bring a new, practical yet powerful idea, along with a specific explanation designed to rekindle deep, loving and compassionate relationship, cultivate vitality, radiance and gratefulness, and leave you feelingly lit up by the way you contribute the world, like you are doing the work you were put on the planet to do. Once again, I congratulate Satyajit. Thank you very much.
So now, this is the end of today's book review. Let's meet again in the next book review.